the recording. Welcome everybody. Today is Monday, February the 17th, 2025. You have joined the Kubeflow Model Registry bi-weekly meetings. This meeting is now being recorded, and this meeting, as usual, follow and adheres to the CNCF Code of Conduct. So thank you for joining this meeting. I think I saw through the agenda bullets point that mainly today we want to go through some of the Kubeflow 1.10 release updates. So with that one, I don't know if Milos, you wanted to take the opportunity to just sync with the rest of the team for the Kubeflow 1.10, if there is anything that you want to mention.
Well, I just wanted to mention this information we just got from Ricardo during the release team call. Just want to be sure that practically there's a message from Dimitrios, the guy who's gonna create some blog posts about new features. It's part of our effort. Practically, marketing team has this idea, right, to inform everybody to how to say, inform everybody about new exciting things. And I was in communication with the person, Dimitris, but we got the information that he's missing some things from the Model Registry group, which I have to admit I'm really puzzled because I talked with him today. So please, if he contacts you, send him everything that he needs, or like escalate, ping me or Matteo, so we can try to help him. I'll also I'm trying to reach that person directly to see what is missing there. So I hope I'll have more info later. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I think this is most important right now.
Of the docs slash blog post. Yes, so during the earlier release team meetings, the manifest confirmed to be in. I think that there also was a questions later about installation instructions as well. So about, but I've added a note here about installation instructions follow-up. All right, so we can go through this one later. So indeed, with the latest release, we made sure that the manifests are in sync. So thanks again for everybody and especially Paul and Lucas specifically. Thank you for the contribution in all the feedback that we received about this so far. This is sort of very helpful as we are going through these different stages to make sure that the Kubeflow release will have all the information needed. So just relaying the recommendation that Julius mentioned in the earlier meeting. So with that one as well, in addition to what Milos mentioned, so indeed, let's make sure that the feature highlights for the Model Registry 1.10 will be showcased. To me, what I see are three main highlights. Of course, the UI is the one that is top and upfront. So there is definitely there. I think that we should also like the work that Alessio had done through these sprints with the CSI updates. So just a heads up with Alessio, let's make sure that this ends up highlighted in the blog post that will be done for the Kubeflow 1.10 / Model Registry parts. And I think that in general, the general updates that we did, so minor features and improvement that we are working on, this is also a good opportunity to showcase what has been maintained, but also what we're looking forward to highlight. With that one, last time we merged in the meantime the MySQL image update. So for this one, we will just follow up again with the DSP team, but indeed now we just made sure to have this one updated. We have eventually some coordinate with Milos about the graduation plan. So there will be sort of like, I think, something to put under the attention for the sort of like in the next release, I would say, for as well some updates to the website in general. So we have, so thank you, Diraj. I saw that you reviewed on these pull requests for the build. So far, seems that there is no update from this contributor. So we will see if we can get some feedback there from the contributor. And for as well, thank you, Addison and Dheeraj as well for reviewing on this PR from Matthew. So I think this is in. So eventually on the website, we will have a showcase of the Open API. So that is done. So this point, I'm not sure if Eric, sorry, if Eder or Lucas added this point about pull request 300. Lucas.
Yeah, this was me. When I raised the PR for just adding the integration tests in Kubeflow manifest, Julius get back to me with the feedback saying that the current way, like I just mimic the same steps as you guys currently have for Model Registry to Model Registry UI, in which you generate a token to ping the deployment itself. And he got back telling us that the token that we are generating, it's in a default namespace, and that's not right. Like, can you scroll up a little bit more? Yeah, there, like that's where he's telling us that the kubectl and default create token default should be a security concern, since like you can only ping deployments with service accounts that are just working in the same namespace. I mean that this shouldn't work in theory, since we are creating that default token in the default namespace rather than in Kubeflow. At least that's what I got from the conversation. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I got. And it wasn't only a suggestion of my PR, like my changes. Like he also mentioned that in the previous step, which is something that it's currently there. You just scroll a little bit, no, there, like just right after the first comment, there's a second one still in the same in the step for the Model Registry REST API. So I wanted to bring that here. So maybe we should address that at the same time, like both things. I can take care of that. I don't mind, since I'm currently working on integration tests for Model Registry UI. But I think it's something that we might need to address. I'm not even sure if this is something that it's on us, or like I got confused because I thought that that's something that Istio should manage, right? Like if you were to get a service account token in a default namespace, and that's not, we should avoid that. That's something that Istio should take care, right? Maybe I'm not getting right Julius' comment, but at least that's, yeah. Well, the other comment is just about like I was trying to test that in my cluster and it wasn't working right, so I just left some comments for that. But so far, I want to get to comment like the first feedback that Julius gave us.
So the point of the integration test in the manifest is here is sort of like the thing that we do for Model Registry. So typically we have a very, I would say, simple test. It is not meant to be replace the integration test or the end-to-end testing that we do in our repo, because in our repo is what we have most comprehensive. So the scope for this GitHub action in Kubeflow/manifest is to make sure that the manifest that actually are the same one that we have for in our repo are working as intended. There is also the case that other components also use this integration test to make sure that they work within the platform, but we are not at this stage. So for the time that sort of like for this scope, the idea is to have something that demonstrates, hey, if the manifests are applied according to the instruction that we decide, okay, then they were working as intended, meaning that I don't know, the pod comes up because just for an example, if in the manifest we are pointing to an image that doesn't exist, they will never come up. So the idea of those integration testing will be to have a very simple smoke test of the deployment. It's not necessarily meant that they have to be an integration. In the proper sense of making sure that all the test cases are covered. I don't know if that also helps Lucas a little bit on how to frame.
No. Yeah, I agree, and that's what I've done in my PR. It's just like deploying Model Registry UI and then pinging through the Istio, like for forwarding Istio, and then pinging there with the token that you create with the auth proxy that is installed through GitHub Actions. My comment is that once I did that, which is just a small change, Julius got back telling us that generating that token in the default namespace is something that we shouldn't be doing, since it should be done in the same namespace as where the installation is done. Well, the deployment is done, which is Kubeflow.
Yeah.
I think that's what I got. So he's not telling us like that our integration tests are wrong. It's just like he commented that we might be applying misconfigure testing or test or something like that. But that's what I got from Ulysses' comment. But then again, like if you guys can, yeah, this is like a small change. I just deployed the Model Registry UI and then did the same, like ping the and it's like basically it seems to be working just fine. So the actions took place and it seems that that it's working. But like the comment that Ulysses is asking us is that like our Model Registry pods should live in the Kubeflow namespace. That's right. And the only default editors from the user namespace should be able to reach it. And it seems that we are exporting that Kiev token from KievCTL and namespace default, create token default, instead of being we are just getting that token from a default service account in the default namespace. Whereas we should get that Kiev token from the Kubeflow namespace and with the token of the default edit. So that's his comment. But my concern was like if we are able to ping that from with a token that it's in the default token, it's something that might be wrong. But then again, that's something that should be handled by Istio. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself here, but
the point is also this, like most of the discussion would require involving Julius, because if Julius is raising this comment, I mean, what I want to make sure, Lucas, here it will be my suggestion. Let's make sure that this PR is getting the attention of the comments of that Julius requires. But if something like that we believe is not working as intended, that is also part of their role to advise on things to be done differently then, I would say. So I think that eventually, to me, what I would like to see as part of integration tests, I would say at the bare minimum that sort of like the manifests are applied and some specific deployment are existing. Then, then this is what needs to happen. if also we need to sort of like fix on something for the token, I think that it will be, we need to follow up with Julius. I know that the Kubeflow platform working group, what was called the Kubeflow manifest, have our current meeting every week. So maybe that is the place where, you know, somebody, I'm not necessarily you, Lucas, but somebody from the UI team can attend there and sort of like explain the problem. And so I'm trying to get some feedback.
Nice. No, that's right. I don't want to hijack the meeting with that. I just wanted to bring attention to this PR because I thought Julius's comment might be valid. So that's and it's not only affecting the Model Registry UI, but rather both. So that's why I wanted to bring that conversation here, just for you all to be aware. But yeah, I'll just move forward the conversation with Julius, apply like the other, like there's 2 threads right there, and then again getting like get an answer about what's happening there, and if whether we should just change something right there.
Because the only thing that let me see if I can watch it quickly, because I do remember that I've encountered something along the lines of that with doing with they have an integration test of Kserve in Kubeflow manifest, and I remember that when I was trying to use the token, at a certain point it was not working as I would have expected, but frankly I don't remember exactly what was the solution at the time. I will see if I can find something back then, but my take here, it will be that as they are progressing on platforms task, what I would like to make sure is that we get the information directly from them about, okay, if this is not meant to be working, what is meant to be working, what is the advice, what is the GitHub action that we can copy the script for? Does it help in any way?
All right. Yeah. I will get back to him. Just asking that, and I'll follow up in maybe Slack with you guys to if I find something relevant to both.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Then just Lucas, while I have you here, I think one point that also they've been asking in the release meeting is if there is any update about the documentation, because I think that they've seen the threads on the Slack channels and on this one. So just to make sure to follow up on this point correctly, sort of like for the release here, I mean Kubeflow 1.10 release, we will have some documentation either in the website, either in as part of the README in the docs that says, hey, here is how you apply the manifest, and here is how you can make sure to have the UI appearing. I just want to make sure that this is tracked by this issue here.
No, yeah, right, and we already have some internal JIRAs for us to try to track that same thing. I'm currently working on that. I was expecting to raise a PR today. I rebased the. I'm working on the website project right now to add a section. I was intending to raise a PR, a draft, and ping you guys to sync and make sure like everything's clear and everything is what we were agreeing there. We can like I'm more than happy to have feedback too, so we can get something that is valid for everyone. And yeah, I just rebase everything with the latest changes in the Swagger spec and everything else. So I was just like resolving some conflicts there. But I'll get that later today. So I'll ping you guys with that. I'm just adding some sections and tweaking some of the website proposals to make sure we have a section for the UI, detailing everything that I was adding here. And so far in the README already, we have some docs added to just make sure we got working. Yeah, that's right. If you go to the clients, and oh, sorry, right, options, UI. No, even in the README. I'm sorry, in the README we should have.
In the one of the base, you mean here? Ah, yes.
So yeah, here, yeah. Here you have like the instructions to add that into the central dashboard config, and then like the one-liner comment to just edit the config map to add the section of model registry.
It's awesome. Just to be clear, Lucas, even though it was asked in the release meeting, doesn't mean that it needs to happen today. Okay, I just
but it happens that I've been working today with that, so yeah, like it
just
should
want to make sure that I communicated it correctly. So basically, the question that I have is to say, let's make sure that for the by the release, so because they need to update the docs or sort of like have some links in the blog post, let's make sure that these instructions are sort of like up to date, that are fresh, potentially have them in the website by then. It will definitely help. But it's something that sort of like we have a couple of weeks, I guess, to sort of like make sure that it works.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and thanks for it being, yeah. So yeah, it just happened that I was currently working on that. So yeah, maybe later today I'll have something by that. And by the way, now that you mentioned that, and I saw that as other point on the discussion. Sorry if I am jumping where to
Sure.
other parts. We are talking with Dimitris too for the blog. So yeah, like he asked us some of the updates there. We were busy planning the release, so we didn't have the time to just get everything nice and clean. But yeah, we are in talks with him, so we add some sections for the blog post in the UI too.
All right. So about this point, indeed, Lucas, and thank you for mentioning my maintenance updates and related class feature. So so indeed, it's like with Milos earlier, the release team said that indeed Dimitris actually was missing some information. So I think it was just some miscommunication between the different groups. My suggestion there is like, let's make sure that the conversations about these highlights happens in the CNCF model registry for channel. This way we can ensure that if anybody sees some gaps about what are key highlights or features, we are making sure to add. To me, the thing that my suggestion for the Kubeflow 1.10 release highlight for model registry are mainly on three parts. One, of course, is the UI, is what we want to make first. Then there are some updates that Alessia has been working on for the CSI that I think is worth it to highlight. And then, of course, some maintenance work and the general updates, sort of like smaller features, small announcement, and things like that. My suggestion is that let's make sure that at least we have either screenshots or some videos recorded if we wanted, because we will coordinate with Milos, who will represent us in the release team meeting when there will be the demo for the 1.10. So here is just a call of action for everybody. If you have anything that you would like to highlight for the Model Registry Kubeflow 1.10, the person to make sure that sort of like these things flow through is Dimitris for the blog, but to Milos for making sure that it's get highlighted in a demo or in a recording or in screenshot. It's not, this is the form that I believe you can agree with Milos. If Milos is comfortable making the demo directly, good. If we want to show pre-recorded videos, good. Up to what we believe. Lucas.
No, yeah. I just wanted to mention we are close to get all the UI changes right now. We had a discussion, Jen and I, on what's left. There's only a few tweaks to be done, but so far everything like the major block of UI changes are already done. So we are ready to go to start recording a demo with all, like highlighting all the features. Maybe we'll get back to you guys to make not to make sure, but to validate with you a valid path on everything that we can highlight for Kubeflow. Like, yeah, I think it's not just UI work, but rather than it should be something that we can sync and plan ahead for getting a good demo. Yeah, just talking about examples and everything else, like what we can get there or something like that. But so far it's close, like we are close to being able to do that. I've been just waiting on some of these latest changes to record that demo, but I think we are close to a current state in which we can demo everything.
That's perfect. So I think that I will need to follow up with Valentina and Ricardo, because I remember that last year we didn't have much time to sort of like go through the demo. It's not that every working group can take an hour. So sort of like here it will be my suggestion. Because to make a demo that highlights all the features that is prolonged, nothing prevents us that, say, in one of these bi-weekly, we will do that, we will record it, and it will be sort of like, for more details or for more sort of like, I'll show you how I run through the instruction of installation. Here is a vanilla Kubeflow with now the UI of Model Registry, and here I think that you folks from the UI team are best suited to highlight all the different features of the UI. So I think that will be perfect. My suggestion is to start to think now about like a distilled version for that videos, because what you would like to highlight, say that if you had 5 minutes of time or something like this, because I remember that last year we had some kind of like strict time limits on how much sort of like we could showcase in the main venue. It doesn't mean that it's only that demo. We can have a prolonged demo, and we can do it anytime that we see fitted. For example, if you find that you also recorded a demo as part of your own meetings, we have the ability to add to the playlist of the YouTube channel for Kubeflow any videos, because I'm the one maintaining those. So if, say, you got around with the team and recorded already the demo, we don't have to do it live here, right? So we can do it there. So my suggestion is to think in this way. It's like a distilled version, and then sort of like, of course, anytime welcome to have the prolonged demo, which I would recommend it also highlight, hey, vanilla step of installing Kubeflow, going through the instruction that you will have finalized. Okay, now we have a Model Registry UI. What do I use it? What do you want to showcase to the people? What do you think you want to draw the attention?
Nice, perfect. Yeah, thanks for the tips. Yeah, we'll do that. We can get the longer demo if we have the time, and then like we can sync to fit some smaller pieces for those kind of. Yeah. And I had something like that in mind, so that's perfect. Yeah, great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And let's make sure that we sort of like tag along with Milos, because he will be the one representing the Model Registry team in the release team meeting. So we want to make sure that we give him all the content and information as necessary.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so I think that we run through all the agenda points. So this is the part where if anybody had any other additional items that they wanted to discuss, please feel free to raise your hand. Or otherwise, I think that we have done through the attention items of today, which mainly focus on the task for the release. So going once, if there are any other outstanding items. Going twice. Okay, so thank you everybody, and I will see you in the Kubeflow community meetings for those attending on Tuesdays, and otherwise in the next bi-weekly call for the Model Registry, so at this time. And in the meantime, I hope to see you in the CNCF Slack channel. And thanks again for everybody and all your contribution. Bye. Have a good evening.
See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.